Eren Yeager's final form isn't a power-up. It's a funeral. It isn't triumph. It's a monument to despair. And if that sounds dramatic, good. Because the rumbling doesn't have final boss energy. It's what happens when freedom turns into a curse. In a few minutes, I'll show you how his dream rotted into apocalypse, and why that final form is the saddest thing in Attack on Titan. Look at what he becomes during the rumbling. Not a heroic upgrade, not a glowing transformation, a massive, skeletal nightmare, more like a moving grave than a body. And that design matters, because this form doesn't scream, "I won." It screams, "There's nothing left inside." Here's the irony that hurts the most. He wanted freedom so badly that he becomes the ultimate oppressor. The boy who hated cages turns into something that crushes the world underfoot. And if you watch the rumbling as pure spectacle, you miss the real horror. He doesn't look like a king. He looks like a sacrifice. So, how do you go from "I want to see the world" to "I will erase it"? To understand that, we have to rewind to the beginning. At the start, he's painfully simple. A kid trapped behind walls, staring at the sky like it's a ceiling. Freedom, to him, isn't philosophy. It's oxygen. And then the world makes it personal. His mother dies right in front of him, and the dream becomes a vow. "I'll kill them. Every last one of them." That line isn't just rage. It's the moment liberation gets tied to one rule: elimination. If something stands between him and freedom, it has to disappear. So he joins the Survey Corps. He fights, he bleeds, and he keeps moving forward. For a while, the story pretends it's simple. Monsters outside, humanity inside. Survive long enough, and freedom waits at the end. That world cracks, because the real enemy isn't just Titans, it's what waits beyond them. The basement changes everything. He learns the world is bigger and crueler. There are people outside the walls, and they want Paradise erased. Then comes the ocean, a moment that should taste like victory. But instead, the most terrifying question drops. If we kill all our enemies over there, will we finally be free? That's when hope starts dying, because freedom is no longer about escape. Now it's about erasure. And then, the real weight hits him. He inherits powers that don't just grant strength. They grant memories and a sense of time that stops moving straight. When he kisses Historia's hand and catches a glimpse of what's coming, something in him hardens. Not because he suddenly becomes evil, but because he starts believing the ending is already written. And that belief is a trap, because once the future feels fixed, every step feels necessary. Not good, not right, just inevitable. This is where he starts disappearing. Not all at once, but piece by piece. Liberio is the clearest proof. He attacks Mali knowing civilians will die, and he does it anyway. Because if he can't be the hero, he'll become the weapon. Then he pushes away the people who still see him as human. The table scene with Mikasa and Armin isn't just cruelty, it's calculation. He's severing the bonds that could stop him later. When he tells Mikasa he hates her, whether it's true or a lie, the result is the same. Distance, isolation. And then there are the paths. Ymir. This is where the story becomes brutally honest. He's chasing freedom. But the more he chases it, the more he becomes a slave to one outcome. So when the rumbling begins, it doesn't feel like victory. It feels like surrender. Like he finally accepts, if this is the only road left, then I'll become the monster. That's why this final version looks the way it does. Not like a champion, like a man hollowed out by a choice he can't take back. When it's over, the Titan powers disappear. The curse is gone, but the damage remains. His legacy can't be reduced to one word. To the world, mass death. To his friends, someone they couldn't save. To history, a warning carved into the earth. Then there's Mikasa at the grave, the scarf, the bird tugging it gently, like a quiet goodbye. So no, Eren Yeager's final form isn't a power-up. It's a funeral, a symbol of despair. And the most disturbing question isn't whether he was right. It's this: would you have done better?